Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% fast.
Ole. Good stuff there from GG3. Skill from GG Fid. He's looking for
Right.
Gets it back. Gets a gift rally and scores a second.
Yeah, it continued to be a really testy match between these two teams. Of course, both Port of Spain based, and then this man, Gary Griffith III, turning on the style, earning a penalty at the very end of the first half, which was confined. It allowed them to restructure, regroup, and then GG3 again instrumental in the second goal that put them into the lead for the very first time in this one at 2-1, tucked away neatly by Josimar Belgrave, and he went right over to the professor, Ron Laforet, to show his gratitude. Gary Griffith III in the mood against Mirez, that time just unable to get it over the head of the defender,
and Real Westford almost from Belgrave that ball. Here's GG III. He's going to have a shot, and it's a goal for GG III. Second half of this season has been a renaissance for him, and he scores again. Third minute, Deportivo PF down 1-0 to Real Westford. It's a bit too easy from the defensive standpoint for Depo PF. They were left staring. GG III staying on his feet, and that shot just...
This is Gary Griffith. Good goal, and it's a third goal for Westford. Gary Griffith III scoring his second goal in the 23rd minute. Westford, I am sure if he had missed that one, his dad would not have been pleased with that. All alone with Payne. Very close to Payne, actually. Could have been a save, but it wasn't. Instead, this is so close, as you are seeing how close it was. Garcia falling to Gary Griffith. Gary Griffith has support. Josimar Belgrave. Griffith trying to go between the
ball is
two.
poor. It's over from Belgrave. There's Gary Griffith III. He's onside. He's going to shoot. Remember, he's on a hat trick. Wrong to Cornel Thomas. Good flick there by GG III. That's half time. Captain, and in is Jacques Poon Lewis. It's a good ball there from Belgrave. This is GG III. He's going to turn on the fans and gets a foul. Takes a couple rolls on the pitch. He's favoring that right knee.
Back on his feet. Oh, it's a nasty lash.
She's taken the action as she's always been throughout this tournament, one of the better supporters. But here comes Gary Griffith III, and that is a hat trick. That is a hat trick, and so is the celebration. 3 for GG3.
He is supporting who is his idol and mentor.
Yeah, and a very
for BB Cummins. Here is the man on the wide, GG. A lot of room. Let's see what he's going to do with his fancy feet.
Pulling up that right back, that right wing from the right back position, and leaving an opportunity here for Gary Griffith III to exploit the space left. There's just lots to consider for men and women who...
Well done. That's the end of the game.
That man has 3 to his name. Just about 7 goals at the end of the season for GG III. shows what a little bit of faith can do for a player. He's been a man who's come in for a lot of praise from the gets his first start of the tournament.
Changes in the first 13 minutes or so. Sean De Silva puts Stevens, who uses the availability to get it into Betty, but it's well spotted by Cummins. And now Real Westford, they're on the go. Gary Griffith III brings it all the way forward to Laborde. Somehow escapes his man. He has Gary Griffith III in support. He's after it now. Opposed by Shaquille Edwards and being urged to take on Nikhil Stevens. It's with Cummings now. Griffith III has a chase. The defense is backing off, and he's
hustle of these ACPOS players just yet. Gary Griffith III with a good flick back, and that's
forward. This is Cummings looking for Griffith III. Good first touch. Turns it around the corner.
Here's Gary Griffith III trying to beat his man. Gets around him, but he has support. Was chance going begging as Gary Griffith III approaches for Westford.
Track it down, he does so now. Cornel Thomas is beaten and left for dead, as they say, before Griffith comes back to do some defensive work to keep the score manageable. This is Gary Griffith III now. He goes back. Strong header away by Mirez, but it's still Real Westford. Laborde, that's a high boot from both him and Mirez. Augustus thought about putting himself in. Pulled out at the last moment. It threw Brown off, but still AC unable to capitalize. 3 minutes have been added to the end of this first half. As we see Gary Griffith III now goes to work, and penalty. A late challenge there by Stevens after some fancy footwork from Gary Griffith III. And right at the very end of this first half, Real Westford United have a chance to set the record straight. Gary Griffith III, oh, look at that. Just ghosts past Mirez, and coming in late there's Stevens. No doubt. And boy, oh boy, wasn't that something to behold there from the Real Westford number 11, Gary Griffith III. In all likelihood, going into the halftime interval. Here's the man who created it, Gary Griffith III. Doesn't have enough time to dispel some more magic before referee C.J. O'Brien brings the first half to a close. It's that man. The tackles continue to fly in this derby of Port of Spain. One of them that time leading to a yellow card, and then this one at the very end of the first half leading to a penalty. Cuts in nicely before the intervention of Kwao, and Real Westford United bring it forward now. Charging forward is GG3. On the inside of him is Josimar Belgrave. A neat touch around Maurice Ford. Belgrave! And that, ladies and gentlemen, is 2-1 in favor of Real Westford United. Josimar Belgrave. So yeah, for all intents and purposes, 2 assists from, or 4, GG3. And he certainly had an impactful 55, approaching 56 minutes in this match so far. Here he is again, giving chase. He sizes up Mirez. Good skill again. He's in the mood. Certainly, Gary Griffith, the younger.
A big mood.
Ball met by Corey Thomas. Sadale McLean, his shot is blocked. Gary Griffith III now gets it to Belgrave. He can't get a handle. It's back with Benny.
Great weekend of football. GG III is on the left wing. Akel Laborde is going back to safety. This ball is cleared. It's Gary Griffith III. It's Gary Griffith III chasing this one down. It's an excellent tackle. Distributed up pitch. Here's GG III. Sean Del Young. Here's GG III. Sizing up Sean Del Young. Couple fans is begging for that penalty. Nothing coming from it. Just unable to combine well with his midfielder on that occasion. Here's GG3. Samuel is on. He puts it back for GG3. It's taking a bit long to get that ball out of his feet and eventually wins a corner. Akel, the board being directed to the penalty spot. It's a little better from GG3, but still cleared by Maruga. As well to elude his man, gives it back to Cummings. This is GG3. It's good skill from GG the third, and he's looking for the penalty and he gets it. Did speak about his fancy feet. Gary Griffith the third earns Real Westfort an opportunity to go 2 up. Referee Andrew Samuel with no doubt in his mind. That tackle from Rodney Young, captain, 12 yards. And it's a goal. It's going to be celebrated. Sorry for this Maruga team. Give it away instantly. Here's GG3, full of confidence. Attack late. Unable to get past that Maruga player. It's a great spanner there from GG3. He's still running into the box and eventually it's cleared, and you can hear the supporters and the Westfort bench egging him on. Ole! It's good stuff there from GG3. Final product is GG3 with the corner kick. Puts it short this time to Cornel Thomas. Gets it back. Gets on his bike again with Thomas. This is Evans. GG the third. Just keeps it in. He has Shondell Young for company. It's Cummings to GG3. This takes a moment to compose the play for Westfort. As the first half comes to an end, score at the interval is 3-0 to Real Westfort. GG the third, one of those scorers. He's had a very good first half so far. He's going to attack this left side from Keon LaRode. May have been a difference maker for Maruga. It's good football there from GG3 just to relieve the pressure. Could have been their first goal of this match. Boy, do they need it, but here comes GG the third for Real Westfort. He's going to trust himself. Again, hurdling his defender right to Karen Borpas Cummings, and here's GG the third again being asked to impress and to express himself. Still aboard. Gets past his man too easily, and that's off enough 40 on Brown. He just made it look a little more exciting than it was. Far side, that's good control from GG the third, but he is offside. It's a good dummy by GG the third. It goes all the way to Karen Ballpest Cummings. He's going to work his defender and look for that far post, and that corner sequence here. So Belgrave just getting that ball across. GG the third unable to add to his penalty goal from the first half. Zantwine. GG3 is free again. Gets it back. Gets a gift really and scores his second. He's going to run over to celebrate with the family. It's 5-0 for Real Westfort. Fifth came out of nothing. Curvel Turner. It's been pretty decent this evening despite the scoreline. Just fatigue just seeming to set in. Bit of butterfingers from him. And GG the third just there to capitalize on the mistake, and you see his father on the far side pointing that finger. And that's it. It's curtains. 5-0 Real Westfort win this match against Maruga FC. That man in your picture with 2 of those goals scored in the 26th and 89th. Gigi the third. Coming up trumps with a good performance for Westfort.
People like young Gigi, you know, when I saw him the very first time, I saw something in the youngster whereby, you know, it kind of turned me on in terms of how I used to play as a youngster. Now, at one time, I compare him, when I saw him the very first time, I said, you know, he have some Ronaldo pedigree in him, you know, meaning that when Ronaldo was a youngster coming to Man U, he was just like Gigi, just like him. Every time he picked this ball up, he want to go out here. And I was saying, me, once I have a team that I coach in, I like players like that. And tonight, Gigi gave us a lot of that. And as I said, he's a player for the national body to look at down the road.
But now we'll hear from the man of the match.
We're speaking here with Gary Griffith III. Gary, you got your first 2 goals of the Ascension tournament this evening, leading your team to a 4-0 victory. How you felt about it?
Oh yeah, you know, there's no better feeling, you know, scoring. And also, as I said, I'll go back to being coach under the professor, Ron Laffrey, and being under players like Cordell Samuel, Karen Bolpes, Cummings, Justin Belgrave, and etc. And, you know, these fellas I used to look up to from I was young. So, you know, it's a great feeling, no better feeling. And, yeah, it's just forward from here.
Coming into today's game, both teams were at the bottom half of the table. How important was it to get the 3 points tonight?
Oh, yeah, you know, we train hard fit, you know. The past week, we've been working on patterns of play, and we came out and executed it beautifully. So, you know, we're looking to carry forward the same energy for the rest of the tournament and for all our endeavors to go. So, we're just going to have the same mindset and positivity from here.
All the best to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're here today with Real Westfort United's Gary Griffith III, coming off a really inspired win and an inspired performance by yourself last weekend. What is the mission for Westfort today?
We're looking to go with the same energy, the same vibes from last week. The win last week really compelled us to work harder in training to continue getting the 3 points, and we're looking to do the same today.
Yeah, Central FC, you know, a team that you all previously drew with in the first round, 2-2. You'll think that they will continue to provide a stern test?
Yeah, well, we know the quality that Central has and what they uphold, and we know we have a game plan set, and we're looking to carry forward it on the field, and the professor gave us certain instructions, and we're looking to produce it on the field, so we'll see how that plays out.
Tell us about your personal game, you know, under the stewardship of the Professor Ron Laffrey. You know, you came into the starting team last week, and as mentioned, inspired performance. How do you feel about your game coming along now?
Well, yeah, you know, confidence is building, and with that comes better performances. So I hope to keep giving 100% on the field and for Real Westfort and to do my best. All
right, thanks a lot, Gary Griffith III, Real Westfort United. Gary Griffith III, who we heard from earlier.
As the referee gets us started, this man who has the ball right now will be in focus after the kind of game he had last week.
And already on the charge, earning an early corner kick here for Real Westfort United. Gary Griffith III, that is.
High quality match.
Yeah, Central FC, 4 defeats on the bounce, including that Cummings. He spreads it out to Antoine. It's with Gigi the third now. He'll try to go to work on his defender. Certainly not a player short on confidence. Definitely not after last week's performance. Winning a penalty and then also assisting one for Belgrave. This is Pest.
Just to go back to Gigi the third, he does have a very good case for, you know, having a confident match, for continuing in the vein that he did last weekend. Central though, all across the box. No one can claim it's cleared. It's here with Gigi the third, looking for some space. Eludes the tackle. He has options. Eventually gives it to Karen Bolpes Cummings. This ball is interesting enough. Just ahead of the...
Squirms out now to Gary Griffith III. Ahead of him is Rondell Gibson. Perhaps lead it, although it's going to be Real Westfort corner kick taken short. Gary Griffith III will swing this cross in. It's a good-looking one. Aberdeen comes and flaps at it. Gets enough of it. Jamal Burke, that is, and then his clearance upfield to Gary Griffith III. He's on his bike, gets past one. Keely Thompson comes over, though. A sliding challenge, or as invitingly as he would have wanted. Forced to take it on the up. And the result was there for all of us to see. Meanwhile, though, this is Real Westford. Gary Griffith III gets this ball into Belgrave. He'll lay it back to Cummings.
Once again.
And it was an observation I made in the first period of Laborde. He didn't seem to come out today with the...
Yeah, maybe an equipment problem. But we did see him last
Real
week.
Westport United played quickly. It's with GG3 now. Skips past one. He'll take on his man Faria, but retreating is Shem Clausel. This is inside to Cummings. On the far side is Samuel. It's a bit behind him. He has the leg.
So Creed. GG3. Here's Belgrave.
Gary Griffith now has it on this near side, just beneath us. For Real Westford, gets it into Belgrave and gets it back. He's trying to cook something up, but Keely Thompson picked up again, though, by Real Westford. This is Gary Griffith III. Creed. Creed now is in. Can he get a better service? He does, but is Antoine. GG3 gives his man a wrong address before he's Real Westford United. Game over for
Columbia FC versus Real Westford. Gary Griffith III, our man of the match last week for Real Westford. Malik Kwao. This is GG3 on the far side, the similar position he likes to work in. Gets past his defender. Referee Hines is not impressed to keep them up pitch. There we see him, his customary fans. He's been likened to one of the greater dribblers in the game. Here's GG3 working on his defender Cummings, just moving it there, and it's out here to GG3. There's a lot of space to run in. One for company. Gets past Matthew Sorant, gives it. Seeing a lot of the ball is GG3. Cummings to GG3. Gets a free kick. It's who would love to hit it from here. Good turn from GG3 just to put his defender on the wrong side of the ball and win that call. Here's GG3. He switched over to the right wing. Gets past his defender, takes a shot. It's eventually corralled. It's flicked on here for GG3. Can't expect him to lift his head and look for the pass. He does connect with one in particular. This one is to GG3 with lots of room. Kind of working area he loves to be in. Gets inside his defender. That man who, by the songs of his coach, is a guaranteed starter here for Real Westford. And on evidence of his performance last weekend. Won and scored a penalty and then picked the keeper's pocket for the second. FC. Belgrave again, looking for GG3. It's not too far past them. Here's another playmaker. Here's GG3. His customary fans. Antoine leaves it for Kwao. Ball in from Kwao. Looks decent. Good header back inside. Here's Belgrave. It's the ball. It's a good presence of mind from Gary Griffith III to get it back over to Belgrave. Belgrave to Cordell Samuel. Here's GG3. He's onside. Waiting for support. Backing himself in these positions. Gets a free kick. Astute defending there. A couple of tricks and flicks from the defender.
Next goal,
Yeah.
Gary, join him, Gary! Time! Closer! Closer! Simple! Get forward! Outside, Josh! Outside! Don't foul! Don't foul! Come on, Malik! Closer, Malik! Next side, Gary! Next side!
My name is Jovan Ravello, and for the next 90 minutes, I will be in your... Now let's take a look at the lineups. First, Real West Fort. Gary Griffith III is on the left. And referee Quincy Samuel gets us started. A good sequence of passes so far. It's Gary Griffith III. Sizes up his man, eventually passes it off. Ball pass. Good ball wide for Cummings for Gary Griffith III. Turns on the fans. Recovers the ball in the box. Some trouble here. Simeon Bailey was in a bit of trouble, but eventually It's Cleavon McPhee just losing out. Good pressure there from Gigi III. Very smart ball there from Gigi III. Tried to release Laborde. Looked to spring up from it earlier. There we see Gary Griffith III running at Belgrave. Switching it to Gibson. Kennedy just pulling up there, as you can see. Completed that minute. Referee Sam. It's another good ball up to Gary Griffith III. Continues to defend. He has a man, if you can see it. Here's Gary Griffith III. Back up two. It's very good. Karen Cummings, man known as Pest. That is a good ball. Very smart to Gary Griffith III. He turned on his left foot. Good block there from Cadian Gabriel. Seems to be the man who will attend to Gary Griffith III, the very tricky GG3. He's asking for movement from his winger. This is Gary Griffith III. Very close to the center of the midfield. If he raises flag for offside, it's ignored, and it's... Well, should have been a goal. Really, really should have been. Sure, they'll have a good laugh about this after, but now is not the time for jokes. Here's GG3 finding Cummings. Ball is a bit too high, and professional foul from him. Cadian Gabriel perhaps wanting to do the same. Great defense from Cornel Thomas. GG3 is fouled. Still 0-0. Can be commended for the job that he's done alongside likes of Kwao, fighting for the ball, missing out. One Luke Dawant out to Gary Griffith III, chased by Rivaldo Brown.
The Hockey Rangers are set for action against Real Westport. Timanex Rangers, of course.
As well as some very potent guys on the team, you know, Ball Pest and Gary Griffith Jr. And these guys, you know, we're expecting a very tough game, but we're hoping to be able to...
Karen Cummings, Gary Griffith Jr., Brendan Crime Thomas in the CONCACAF Championship, which they are currently part of. So they're missing tonight. Both players had to come a long way to win possession as Gary Griffith Jr., Josima Belgrave. Griffith Jr. Oh, that's good. Wow. Nice space.
That's good.
Oh, and Griffith Jr. flew in, but he couldn't connect. That's a familiar face. The former police commissioner, Gary Griffith II. And there's the third, the son, Gary Griffith Jr. III. And they want more. Yes, Griffith Jr. Aboard. Griffith Jr. Wow, has some fancy stuff. Cummings keeps going. Flag stays down. Griffith Jr. And well held in the end by Jade Hoyt. Many local fans quite keen to see what the young Griffith Jr. has to offer. Fair to say he hasn't disappointed so far. He'll get ahead of everybody. It's to be written on as the second half continues in the Ascension football match between Timanex and the Hockey Rangers. Griffith Jr. Cornel Thomas, well, they didn't communicate really well, and somehow they managed to escape. Griffith Jr. Griffith Jr. getting involved. Griffith Jr. Oh, that's good from Griffith Jr. That's a highlight moment. And wow, just couldn't get his final shot away.
That's a clever bit of skill here by Griffith Jr. Flicks it over the head. Caleb puts himself into a position. Tries to steady himself to get a shot off.
Griffith Jr. All that she wrote. And after a game that Gary Griffith Jr. and company, not for a lack of trying, they still kept alive. Looking for Griffith. He's got lots of space ahead of him. Challenged by Lewis. Step overs. Keeps it alive. Cummings. Oh, they've burst through. Sean De Silva. And, well, he just tried to...
He's had his chances, James. 2 balls, back post. Wasn't able to connect.
Here's Gary Griffith, the third. Oh, he's gotten past the one with the step over. And, well, the referee sides in his favor. He's been compared this week in the local press to Cristiano Ronaldo.
It's close.
Walker. Oh, Griffith. Nice turn from Gary Griffith. former Fatima man. He's hacked down and no whistle. Play continues.
That's a foul.
And the whistle comes belatedly. Looking for Griffith.
It's a good ball.
Should be cut out. Oh, he's done well, the young man. Keeps it alive. This
That's a
time,
good ball.
oh, that's a good ball. Gary Griffith III, not making very good contact.
It's a good delivery there.
Here's Griffith. Good looking ball. On a good shot, just missing its mark. And they're coming closer. And they'll have another good service from Griffith.
It's good defending.
Good technique from Griffith as well. Pinged in nice and flat. Griffith, more space. Can he get some quality in? Well, that was the aim for the silver, but well cut out. Oh, he's done well. Keeps it alive here.
It's a good tackle.
The silver. Oh, they picked the lock, have they? In on the left, and well, did everything right besides beat Fonset at the near post. Might have gotten a touch. Oh, here's Griffith. He's got a ton load of space now to deliver a good service. Can he pick a green shirt? He does, and the Fonset cleans up easy. The header. No real threat. And they'll battle for this one, and that's very good strength. Cummings. Griffith. Oh, almost danced his way out of trouble there, and Gary Griffith cleaning up with a slide tackle. Well, when you've got two of your more creative players, flick it back in the path of Cummings. No real success, but they keep it alive. Here's Griffith at the back door. Anybody there? Wow. It's as lively as they've come all evening.
Yeah, it's a long probing ball back post there. For young Griffith. Just option, the better option may have been
Westport with a couple of subs being introduced for the next 45 minutes.
Yeah, Jovan, certainly this is at this juncture, it's the opportune moment to make the required changes. And judging by the players coming onto the field, certainly looking to shake things up from an attacking perspective. Josimar Belgrave, the veteran, comes in. So too does Rondell Gibson and Gary Griffith III.
It's a ball up from Gibson to GG the third. Leans himself for a free kick.
Forcing the Depot player to turn possession over. It's with Creed now to Cummins on the outside of him. Gibson makes his run. Good ball back to Cummins. They're asking for a handball long in this second half to settle. And certainly it's been promising stuff for Real Westport. GG the third.
Go to be in top condition again, Justin.
Josimar, this is into Gary Griffith III now. He turns. Gets it to Gibson. He wants it back. Instead it goes all the way out to Creed.
Signs of life. Good signs from this Westport team.
Belgrave again. Now to Gary Griffith III. Josiah Joseph.
Yeah, they're running out of time to put themselves back in this match.
Gibson and Gary Griffith III exchanging neat passes there in the midfield, but the final ball still lacking. And I think several ahead of him, but a looping cross asking Gary Griffith III to try to get on. Unable to do so. And here is Isaiah Garcia. To the outside of him is Keza. He goes instead to gets it forward to Gibson. He skips past Pacheco. Now it's with Gary Griffith III. Back to Gibson, and then he's not had much to do with Trinidad and Tobago number 1. Cummings. Gibson on the inside gets it. Back to Cummings now. Martion Watson has to be careful. Gary Griffith III against Garcia, the relentless Garcia. Isaiah, and then Gibson losing out to Nathaniel Garcia. He gets it back. Good work. Ross Dowden in for Josiah Joseph. Here comes Real Westford, and that's a shot in anger from...
Do the job the professor has put them on for. This ball is from Belgrave.
Onto the head of Dowden. So two substitutes, just as you said, Jovan. Perhaps the commentators' curse might work in their favor here on in. Josimar Belgrave with the free kick onto the head of Ross Dowden. And unlike we saw with Michel Punanjaron earlier this afternoon.
It's 4-0 against Westford. 75th minute.
So as they just try to see out this result, Deportivo Point Fortin.
Gary Griffith.
He's seen so far. Could barely watch. Here's Gigi the third. Always a player who would love to have an opportunity to show his skills.
A very deep playing Cummings. This is Gigi. Gary Griffith the third.
Should, but earning a foul on that occasion. Defense force right wing back. Oh, and this is a good goal. Could it be? Here's Gigi the third. He has an opportunity. Oh, and just unable to find a player all the back of the net. Needed a bit more urgency. He gets into his skill bag. Westford come away looking for Gigi the third. He will be with Curtis Gonzalez. Uses all his experience to get a throw for the defense force team.
We're looking for some space. A good tackle, great tackle. And here comes Gigi on the left for Westford. Good ball from coming
to the halftime interval in this second match of a doubleheader.
To finish the play.
Yeah, and practice makes perfect, or permanent, as some teachers will say. Here's GG3 just getting out of that situation. Gets it back. He has two for company. Doesn't seem daunted by it. Rolling and looking for a player. Eventually gives it to Akel Laborde. Unable to find him. Here's GG3. He's taking his time. So good ball to the outlet on the far side.
Gary Griffith the third, looking but couldn't get past Ackley Edwards.
Almost.
Certainly the stratosphere under more threat than the goal. Here's Gigi the third. It's good football from him. It's a player who has been touted by his coach as somebody with a good future in the national game. Already earning senior national call-ups. Gigi the third.
That's the end.
Griffith the third makes his entrance. He'll replace Cordell Samuel, while McIntyre will
moving the silver center. Doesn't mean it's no more goal threat. It just means that he can create for the players around him.
This one. Just about 25 minutes left as we see Gary Griffith III perhaps wants to put himself into some threatening positions as well.
Ringing endorsement from the professor a couple of weeks ago of Gary Griffith Jr.'s ability. This is his chance to prove him right. Linking up well with his players around him. It's the man that created it. A great turn. It's a lovely ball over to Che Benny. It's a good stop by Brown in the
Walt Norega. And here come Westford. This is the silver to Josiah Joseph, the substitute. He's looking to turn his man inside out. He does so and floats a good ball into Belgrave. A good save there by Poon Lewis. And again, thwarted by the assistant referee's flag for offside. But Belgrave really should have tucked that one in. Tucked that one away more part of the AC Port of Spain midfield. Anthony Charles. But Prowell just loses out. Good run here by Cummings, who's come forward. What a save. And Gary Griffith III should have put that one away. Gary Griffith III with the chance of the better defenders of his generation, and shows just why. This is Griffith III now. He will be looking to make amends for the earlier miss. He cuts inside his man.
It's a good interchange there from Belgrave and De Silva. Cross comes in, cleared.
Real Westport United use the opportunity to make a substitution. In comes Gary Griffith III, and out goes Rondell Gibson, who's...
So I've been reliably informed that defense force Coriat is back with Westport here.
Into Gary Griffith III to Murphy, and he just trips over himself. Dogged work there. To get this one out to Cree. This is Gary Griffith III. Couple step overs. Still in the hunt, but he's seen off of it by Kishon Hackshaw, one of the defense force substitutes. So we're moving up to the end of this one. Real Westport United.
SW versus Real Westport. Gary Griffith III, Malik Kwao. Westport right now, and Gigi III just picks up this ball and, as usual, tries to lose his man. Well cleared by Cornel Thomas. This is Gigi III with one for company. Wins a corner. He's really played himself into form. Given the nod by the professor. Takes great pride in finding new players. This is a great ball to the far post, and attacker in there. Just unable to find the man. Pretty touch there from Gigi III, but just overwhelmed by the coverage. The target. It's Cummings poking it to Gigi III. Man of action. Good work by Belgrave. Just gets it across the midfield. Gigi III with a beautiful flick. This is some good approach play here from Westport. Okay, as far as shot is blocked by Antoine. Here's Gigi III. It's a good ball up to BB Cummings. Cummings back to Gigi III. Ball to the far post is a good looking ball. Substitute Kiel. It's Cummings finding the outlet. Good in swinger there, and Kiel is Cummings. It's Gary Griffith III. As we enter the 76th minute of play in this opening fixture at the Arima Velodrome. It's good football from Gigi III, just unable to get the returns. Cummings gives it back to Gigi III, who's returned to this left side. Central Soccer World team. Switch it back to Gary Griffith III. He does lose one defender. This ball is back center, and oh! Phillips. The golden opportunity. It's good work from Gary Griffith III. We did say that he had to show himself in this match. He does well to get past that defender. Phillips just slips clear the lines for Westport. And again from Gary Griffith III to keep it in. It's back with Gigi. Good football from them. These three players for Westport. CSW continue to look for something positive from this second half. It's Cummings to Gary Griffith III. That's it. Referee Timothy Derry